Wait for this place to just fall apart around us.
No, that would never happen.
That is the game they should make, though. Diablo 4 and go back in time and make it a prequel. When all this stuff was new and not...
Everything was pristine.
And not covered in blood and or sand.
Yeah, I'll give this dungeon props. Even though it's in disrepair, it's not exactly dirty.
No,
it's not like... There's not grime, there's not blood, there's not waste. It's just sand.
Just people haven't been here in a little bit. Ah! Alright, I got punted. Oh, have you seen...
This guy was really easy.
I'm not going to say anything about it, but have you seen...
This guy was easier than that snake we had to fight.
Seriously, though, he's easier than the spider.
Yeah. What were you saying?
No, I was saying, have you seen Thor Ragnarok yet?
No, I was going to see it this weekend.
We had $5 Tuesday, and we had gift cards, so we're like, hey, we're going to go see it.
Okay.
Good movie.
Good.
The only thing I will say is this. Marvel's trying to get used to certain things that are going to be happening in future movies.
Like what?
Like characters dying.
Oh, I see.
I'm just going to leave it at that. Nothing crazy, just... They're people didn't like the first two Thors, so they're cleaning up a lot of...
I didn't see the second one, but the first one was really boring.
The second one was weird. The first one, I didn't mind the first one, to be honest, but I know what the problem... I understand people's problems. The second one, they focused...
Like, the first one, everything in Asgard was cool. Fighting the giants was cool. Everything in New Mexico was so boring. It's like, oh, he's awkward because he's a god and he's living in a mortal world.
Oh, yeah, they do that kind of again in the second one, but not as bad.
And then, like, the big bad fight at the end is, like, 5 minutes.
I would invest in, like, renting online or something, renting the second one just to watch it before you go in.
Oh, is there stuff that, like,
yes, connects? There's enough stuff that connects.
Okay.
And it is kind of important because it's 2 years... During the last 2 years, some of the stuff that happens in the second one does... It doesn't matter in the movies, but it's one of those things where you get the context.
They bring Natalie Portman back, or is she out of that series for good?
She's in 2. A lot.
I know she's in 2, but they reference her not being present in, like, Avengers in a way that made it seem like she's not going to be back.
Yeah, no, spoiler, she's not in 3. She's mentioned in 3. And it's basically the studio saying, we know people didn't like Natalie Portman, therefore she's no longer in the movies.
Wait, they didn't like her?
Apparently people didn't like Natalie Portman, so...
That's weird.
Or her friend.
What's not to like? Oh, they didn't like her friend? Her friend was funny, though.
Yeah, people didn't like that. I don't care, I didn't mind it, but... I thought the professor guy was fine, but he was weird.
Oh, yeah.
They made him weird in the second one.
He's one of the Skarsgårds. They can do no wrong.
Yeah, well, in the second movie, he's literally naked for most of his role.
Oh, he is?
That's not a joke. He's naked for most of his role. So, yeah, I didn't care for the second one, but I'd watch it again. But the third one is basically, number one, it's really fun, but number two, they retcon everything people didn't like.
Oh, okay. One of those movies.
Yeah, yep.
See, this is why I'm not very excited about any X-Men movie ever. X-Men movie.
Because they retconned everything back in Days of Future Past?
They retcon everything and like, they take the Star Trek route of, if a fan didn't like this, the next movie's an alternate timeline.
Yeah, they don't do that in Thor. They don't do that. They just... They do things. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna leave it at that. They do things. Logan was excellent. It was a great movie. I heard it was good.
But I have no idea what timeline it's in.
It is 2024 and... Oh,
is
yeah.
It in the... like, my closest guess is, like, it's maybe the X-Men 3 timeline.
Didn't they destroy the X-Men 3 timeline, though, with Days of Future Past? Like, wasn't that the whole point?
I think they did, and I think that's the point of Logan. Like, Logan just doesn't count because it's in that X-Men 3 timeline that doesn't count anymore.
Oh.
Because have you not seen Logan?
No, I haven't. I know enough about it. I know what happens. He dies.
Because they do reference him killing Jean Grey in Logan.
Oh,
and
okay.
that's, like, that was my only clue as to what timeline it was in.
Yeah, and because didn't they do the alternate timeline because they're like, yeah, there were so many problems with X-Men 3 and stuff, we had to fix it.
Yeah. And now there's talks that it might get acquired by Disney, so they might retcon it again.
Are they actually going to give it to Disney?
they were talking about it, but it's not an assured thing. But
unfortunately, Hugh Jackman's no longer Wolverine, therefore we don't get that wonderful moment. But that's okay.
That's fine. Logan was a perfect transition into bringing in X-23 as
what's her
Wolverine.
bucket?
Yeah,
it looks like they have a new. I can't tell if it's a movie that's based around it or not, but it's called The New Mutants. But it's made like a thriller. We gotta go back.
Well, I think it takes place in the United Kingdom, I think.
Oh, really?
Or maybe it just has a bunch of British actors that are going to be playing Americans. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening. It looked like a thriller, though. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like when I first started watching the trailer, I was like, oh, this is just like Nightcrawler, the movie, where I think it's an X-Men movie when I first start the trailer and then realize it just has a coincidental name. But then you get further into the trailer and you're like, oh, well, this is an X-Men movie. This will be different.
Yep. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, all right, I guess we're going that route.
Mm-hmm. Where'd you go, by the way?
I went to move on the plot in town.
Oh, you're in town.
Yeah, we just resurrected that guy.
Oh, okay. Well, just another day in Diablo world.
Yeah, and I didn't think you'd mind if we just did it without you.
Okay, I need to mulch some stuff. I'll be there in a second.
Okay, I'm just bringing a dead guy's head with me to open a door.
I feel like, didn't they do that in Hellboy?
Yes, they did. And I don't think it had any real purpose, because wasn't that Rasputin or something?
It was Rasputin, wasn't it?
It was Rasputin, and I don't think there's any point to it at all. It's just like, hey, look, we put...
Yeah, I don't remember why they needed it. It's been so long since I've seen them.
Honestly, I like the second one better than the first one.
I've only seen the second one once, but it looked good.
I thought it was, I thought it was
remember.
Good. Yeah, because the first one was... Oh, hi. The first one was fine. I just thought it was kind of... They wanted it to be dark and creepy, and then they...
they were just playing it safe, and it was almost kind of like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah, which they're doing with the Dark Universe now.
Well, if they decide to keep doing that.
Yeah!
I haven't heard a lot about the Dark Universe since The Mummy.
Well, they tried to start it with, I think, that Vlad the Impaler movie, which...
Yeah, yep.
I actually liked that movie. I just thought the ending was really heavy-handed of, we're gonna make this a thing! It's like, alright, I'm ignoring this last 10 minutes.
Yeah, it is. Like, they did the movie equivalent of, like, comment and subscribe.
Pretty much. Well, and then Mummy, I've watched a couple recent reviews because it finally came out on DVD, I guess.
Uh-huh.
And the gist of it is, it's boring. Like,
yeah, like, it's a setup movie. Like, it's billed as this big monster movie, but it's just like exposition, the movie.
Well, it is. Like, the first 5 to 10 minutes is Dr. Jekyll in London doing something. And then, hey, now we're going to talk about the Mummy, whose motivations are kind of a mess.
Like, it's almost like somebody at Universal said, wow, DC is really, really messing up their franchise by doing things too quickly. And then somebody else at Universal said, hold on a second, we can do it worse.
Let's do it quicker.
We can rush things even more.
Yeah, because, I mean, I don't hate casting Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll or anything like that.
I think that was a great pick. Like, all of their picks were really good. It was just the movies were terrible.
Yep, and I don't know, I guess Tom Cruise is like the god of death or something.
Yeah, which would be cool. And I think Johnny Depp was going to be
Was going to be who?
The Invisible Man.
I could totally see that, actually.
I don't remember who else they picked.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where they're doing it, they're executing it so wrong, though.
Swamp Thing, I think.
Oh, that'd be fun. They're just executing it very wrong, though.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to bother looking it up because it's never going to happen.
Nope. But if they do, supposedly they have dates.
We do a jump cut to 15 years from now when the Dark Universe is the most profitable franchise in existence.
Marvel destroyed.
Destroyed in ruins.
Oh, that'd be great.
You know, I saw this on Reddit the other day. Do you know what the most popular media franchise ever is?
You mean, when you say media franchise, what do you mean?
Like video games, movies, television, books.
Shoot, that crosses a lot of genres.
Yep.
And when you say popular, you mean...
I mean, most profitable. That's probably what I should have said. Yes.
Shoot. I don't know. There's so many options. I know what the most profitable movie ever made was, but...
No, yeah, I'm talking about franchise, not individual movie.
Franchise? I don't know. I swear if it's the Minions, I'm going to punch something.
No, it's Pokemon.
It is Pokemon, because of the games and the movies and everything.
Yep. Yeah, because I was thinking about it. It was like, all right, but they put out a game like every 2 years. If not every year. And
it's still liked by their original audience and new audiences.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's not even like a close first and second. It's like Pokemon, then a couple $100 million, and then Star Wars, and then Harry Potter.
I was about to say, like, Harry Potter's got to be in there, which...
Yeah.
Did you hear they're essentially making Harry Potter Go?
Yeah, I mean, I saw that on Facebook. I just figured it was some developer trying to cash in on the... trying to get some investing money when he saw how well Pokemon Go was doing.
All I was thinking while I saw that was, I'm walking down the street, a wild Horcrux appeared!
You know what I was thinking? Like, when I saw those things on Facebook, it was like, dude, the hype is going to be gone for this before you get anywhere near finishing.
I don't know, you've seen Kickstarters now, those go.
Well, oh yeah, Kickstarters are always promising.
Hey, thank you for the $5 million, so now I can go retire, but in the meantime, your game, this is as far as I'm probably going to get with it. Okay, bye!
Yeah, they just release the unfinished version and say something along the lines of, we were in over our head, thanks for the money.
Smiley face. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't remember, there was a notorious one a while back, it was actually like $5 million, and the guy he just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yeah, what was that?
I can't remember, because I know, like, that's why I would give the game crap if I ever played it. Like, more
I know that's
crap,
what H1Z1, that's kind of what happened with H1Z1. No, it was the ripoff of H1Z1, which was already a ripoff itself. It was the War Z.
Uh-huh.
It was this early access game that I think just went unfinished, and then the guy, and like, it was like, one of the things that started the whole Steam allowing refunds.
Oh, yep.
It was just such a shitty early release game.
Well, and that's the problem, though, with when you pay full price for a game that's not even finished.
Yeah.
And they have no
it's fine. I think they just need to make it more clear that you're investing in something that might not come to fruition. Like, this isn't a AAA company like EA or Ubisoft.
This is some guy that you've never met.
You're guaranteed to get a product. This is essentially paying for mods.
Yeah, pretty much. Only they're standalone mods.
It's like if somebody said, give me $20 and I might finish this Lord of the Rings mod for Medieval Total War.
Only they get swamped with like a couple $1 million, and then they're just like, hey, I don't need to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's why I will give credit to the No Man's Sky group. At least they went back and kept working on their game.
They did. They shouldn't have overpromised, but...
No, they shouldn't have, and,
they should have realized, it's almost like until the minute before release they were trying to get multiplayer to work, and they just couldn't get it. Like, they should have realized earlier on that multiplayer wasn't going to work, and they should have just owned it. Instead, they just kept pushing that lie until about a week after launch, when people realized there is no way you can meet your friends.
It's just too big.
No, it's not that at all, Justin. Like,
because I knew they got to the center of the universe in a day.
Well, yeah, that's the other deception. There's no actual galaxy. I mean, there's no big zoom-out Mass Effect style map you can look at. You have to look at it from a star-to-star view. So you have a star, right?
Oh.
Yeah, you haven't played Stellaris, but it's like if you zoom all the way in Stellaris and you have to try to navigate to the center of the galaxy by going star to star. It's like going on Google Maps and trying to get to Oklahoma by zooming in as far as you can on a highway and using Street View.
Oh, dang.
And the only kind of navigational key you get is you get a little pop-up that says, this planet will put you in the right direction. But you have no other reference points, like if you want to meet up with your friends. Like, the closest you can do is like there was a button that you could press, and it would be like, show me a player discovered planet, and it would show you some random player discovered planet. Well, what it would do is it would like find 5 player specific planets, and you could go to any of those 5 player specific planets. But you could, if you wanted another 5, there wasn't. I couldn't figure out a way to find another 5 planets or look for a specific player's planets or something like that.
So what I'm kind of hearing is, if they took another couple years on the game, they might have actually gotten somewhere near what they were promising. But
possibly. I think it was like a Spore situation where they overpromised and underdelivered.
Yeah, well, that's why there's a few games that have done this where it gets really hyped, and I'm just like, I'm not buying it because it's being overhyped. Because that always happens.
Yep, that's kind of what I did for The Force Awakens. Like, I didn't watch anything for The Force Awakens until they released that Thanksgiving trailer, like a year before the movie came out. I was like, when I heard they were rebooting the franchise, I was like, I'm not going to touch anything. I'm going to hold out as long as I can.
Yep.
Because that's what I did for Halo 3. Halo 3 was a solid game, but it I didn't like it as much as I liked Halo 2.
Well, and the unfortunate thing, specifically with Force Awakens, unfortunately what happened there was the movie was good, and people really liked it, and then they pulled some sort of weird, like a year later, oh gosh, I hate that movie. That movie's so awful kind of deal.
I think that is more a product of, like, it's just kind of like a cycle.
Is it like people hating Frozen because it got oversaturated?
Yeah, that, and it's been out long enough that people have run out of big flaws to look for, so they're just nitpicking everything.
Because
like when the movie initially came out, people were pointing out big major flaws with it, and then those flaws were addressed, and then people were like, all right, now there's nothing else, so let's just find a bunch of little things we can nitpick.
Yeah.
Like, the same thing happened with Rogue One. Like, Rogue One came out, most people liked it, and then, like, 3 or 4 months later, people were saying Rogue One is the worst in the franchise. Everyone hates it.
Yeah, and I heard that. I even had a reviewer. He's really good, but he did the same thing where when he first came out, he's like, I really like it. It has this problem, but otherwise I like it. And then he came out with a video 3 months later where there's one part that gave me beef about it, but he's like, I no longer really like it. But the thing he said was, I watched it 5 times in a row, and after the 5th time, I no longer like it. I'm like, well, you watched it 5 times in a row!
Yeah. And the other thing, it might be people trying to... Maybe a lot of people are afraid that they're falling into a bandwagon or liking something because it's popular, so they're looking for a reason not to like it.
Or the hipster approach.
I don't want to go out and say everyone that hates it is a hipster, but it's like one of those things where people are like confused, like, do I like it because it's good or do I like it because it's popular? And then they kind of look really hard for reasons not to like it.
Yeah, and I get that.
I think movies like that, you just need to... I'm sure people were like that with Lord of the Rings too when it came around. And, people are... I don't know, are people coming around on The Hobbit now? Or do people still hate The Hobbit?
The Hobbit was one of those people didn't like the idea that they took a 1 book and turned it into 3.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
There's some silly parts in, like, the second one.
Yep.
And stuff. It's one of those movies where I'm like, I can enjoy it as a movie by itself, and I don't care about the faithfulness thing.
You know what? That seems like a series that would be great for somebody to cut down into, like, 2.5... Ooh, excuse me. Cut down into, like, 2.5 hours.
I can see that.
Like, I've seen cut down versions of the prequel trilogy, and they were pretty... Like, it was cut down into something like 2 hours.
Well, and I like that people... Because it used to be a universal umbrella. It's a prequel. It's awful. Yep. I do like the fact that nowadays it's... Okay, so at least the third one is pretty good, and the first one isn't awful. It's just not nearly as good as the other ones that have ever been out.
Yeah, what they did with the recut I watched was essentially they subtitled... They basically turned Jar Jar into a character you couldn't understand. So they dubbed over an unintelligible alien voice, and then they gave him subtitles that made him seem like some kind of noble savage archetype.
Uh-huh.
So he was like this big, strong warrior that is trying to help his people out, and then they cut out all the like stupid parts.
Uh-huh.
I mean, in the edit in itself, I think the edit was called like The Fall of the Republic or something like that. But the edit was basically like all the good parts, well, maybe like 20 to 30 minutes of good parts from episode 1. So like they cut the pod race down to like 1 lap.
Oh, really?
They kept in all of the lightsaber fights, obviously. Those are the best parts.
I was about to say Darth Maul.
Yeah. I think they really cut down the Battle of Naboo.
I didn't mind the Battle of Naboo, except for...
No. Yeah, I think they just cut down the Jar Jar. It's like, where, I'm on a tank, and
I'm somehow actually contributing.
I haven't been shot down for some reason.
Let's go to the cave real quick. This is a plot cave. And it's the worst of the 2.